Hello everybody, KGOWSLK here, and welcome back to God of War The Treasure series. So, in the last episode there, we just watched the credits of all the lovely people and amazing people that have touched this game with their lives. Great job, everyone. And now, this one I've never actually seen, which is shocking since this is my favorite game series. It's not my favorite one in the series. I really do love it, don't get me wrong on that one. It's either going to be the new one, the new God of War from 2018, or God of War 3. I'm not sure. That's one of those two are my favorite. But anyways, we're going to see levels that were cut from God of War. Let's go.
This is our sort of batch of things that you didn't get to see. That some of them I'm glad you didn't, and some of them I wish you would have, time permitting, but it wasn't. So here we go. Okay, now this is actually this wasn't a deleted level. This was the prototype that the team put together. I don't even know what the date on this is, but 3 years ago, and it was really just to get the basic mechanics, not even tuned or anything. But you could run, you could swim, you could swing.
What?
And if you look at this level a little bit, you'll see we certainly didn't reuse any of the main art, but you'll see kind of like that shot there is sort of the precursor to some of the shots we have in the game, the rope swinging mechanic, and a lot of this. So you'll recognize if you've played the game and remembered the game, you'll recognize some of the level when you pull into Athens at first. This bottom section is based on that. And the whole cliffs that you climb here, we actually just sort of ripped these out directly from the demo and built the cliffs level, the Cliffs of Madness or the Cliffs of Insanity. I forget what we ended up calling it. God, it's amazing to see this little guy running around. He looks so not like Kratos.
Definitely.
That guy there was the original Cyclops who's dying, who just never really looked like a Cyclops. He just looked like a big guy with a stick. And then this was the room, the only room that we built that was like the final room, and everything else was kind of rough. And I remember seeing this and going, everybody saw this and said, man, this looks awesome. And then we were like, yeah, but how in the hell are we going to get, all the levels in the game looking as good as that? And I don't know if we ended up getting them all looking as good as that, but I think we came a lot closer than I thought we would. This level's pretty cool. This was our test level for the Icarus wing. So when Icarus and Daedalus, the Icarus story where he flew too close to the sun with the wings that he had made, and the wax melted and he fell to his death. That was sort of the inspiration for the mechanic. And I still love this. I absolutely wish this had made it into the game. We just, it really came down to time and going, let's focus, let's get our fighting really good, and let's get our platforming better, and let's get our puzzles working, and maybe we can come back to this. And as is often the case, you just never have the chance to. So I'd love to see something like this, in future God of War titles, because I think it's a great, it's just fun. I mean, it's fun to fly around. And what was cool about this is it wasn't just a flying level. It was, you could land and you could walk around, and it was a seamless experience versus, now it's time for the flying level. So that was pretty cool. Huh. Yeah, I look at this now and I'm like, damn, we should have gotten that in.
Well, you guys did get
These are the original Harpies. They were a lot bigger. They still read better. They look awesome, but we just realized we needed more of like a bat-like, small, like little annoyance enemy. These guys played like the skeletons, basically, flying versions of the skeletons, and there just wasn't much of a difference in gameplay, so we ended up kind of shrinking them down and making them bats. And this was what we call the Mounting the Titan level, which is Kratos, the giant titan in the desert. And sadly, right now, the only way you get on the Titan is through a movie. And originally, this was how it was going to be. You see this big thing, it's like a big watermelon in the background. That's actually Kratos. And Tobin, the designer, he's got him kind of moving towards the player. And those things that are falling are like mountains that are crumbling and stuff. So it's kind of like Kratos is rushing towards the player, crawling, and you're trying to run ahead of him in these platforming sections, so that you can ultimately jump onto the structure that's on his back, and that'll lead you up to the temple. And I still love that idea. I really, really wish we could have done it. And it was just, we showed this to the tech guys, and we showed it to the artists, and they were just like, dude, that's going to take forever. Was the original boss. There was a boss that originally Look at that, that's awesome. That originally guarded Pandora's box. And again, we just didn't have time. And I know it's lame that that's the one thing I regret about the Pandora design, is that there are no bosses that guard the box. You have the Minotaur boss down below, and then we've got this conveyor belt section, and that's kind of it. And we just ran out of time. This was originally pretty cool. It was, you know, you had this moving platform up above, you had this giant kind of harpy vulture in the center that was guarding the box. And she had these eggs scattered all around the level. And in order to sort of entice her to fly around, you'd have to go find her eggs and break the eggs. And you'd kind of take the little baby birds inside and you'd kind of carry them around and use them as bait. And again, not only was it kind of a cool mechanic because you were slower as you carried these things around, but also I think it really helped with the character of Kratos. I mean, here he is, you know, cracking open eggs and ripping out little infant birds and using them for his own desires, and really pissing off this mama bird. I thought was pretty cool. So here's just another quick idea. These are just almost like little sketches for levels, you know, where you have a big open environment and then you've got the walls come down and it becomes a maze, and you either do something and the walls come back up or it's on a timer. I mean, we did tons of these things, you know, where I'd have an idea or a designer would have an idea and it was like, you know, try something like this. So this level is actually a level that we went so far as that we showed the press, we got it in magazines, and this was really a hard cut for us to make, and especially for me to make. I love the mechanic of it, and I love the platforming and the concept. And the concept was that you're riding this elevator, and you know, if you get knocked off, obviously you'll die. And if you get off the elevator, the idea was it was going to originally be being chased by this massive sandstorm. And the elevator was really the only thing. It was sort of a magical elevator that protected you from the sand. And if you got off the elevator would bypass you and the sandstorm would engulf you and kill you. And the two things we didn't have time to do is we didn't have time to tune it, and we didn't have time to build the sandstorm. But what I loved was this whole idea of, you know, getting off the elevator and having to catch back up with it. So, you know, you'd have these little forks in the road, and either you'd be forced, like coming up, you'd be forced to get off the elevator, or you could choose different paths. And if you took one path, it was more combat heavy, one path was more platform heavy. And as you can see, I mean, we had this pretty much finished from a standpoint of the art and the setup, but we were missing the big sandstorm and we were missing the tuning time to really make this fun, and so it ended up getting cut. This I love. This was great. Damn. This is great. I love this for the elevator. Now it gets smaller. I guess we talked about putting this in the actual, see, they suck. Whoever played this couldn't keep up with the elevator, but that was the whole idea, trying to keep up with the elevator. So it's tough. It's really tough when you have to cut ideas that you're really passionate about out of the game, but you do so you can make the other ideas that you do have in the game shine even brighter. So it's sort of a constant process, or it's a constant aspect of the process that's just a really tough thing that you go through, but I think it's worth it because it makes the overall product better.
Oh, all right. Those are some actually pretty cool levels that could have made it into the game. I especially like that idea with the vulture there at the end for Poseidon's box. I mean, yes, you had that pain in the ass level there before going to the box with all those harpies and those archer enemies. But after that would have been cool if they had like another room in there, and before you entered that room you had like the health and magic box, and then you could have got that to fight that giant vulture. Those were actually some pretty cool levels. It all came down to time pretty much when you think about it. Man, Alright. Well, there you go, everyone. Those were the deleted levels for God of War. Alright. Well, make sure to hit that like button. Comment down below as to what level you thought would have been cool if they incorporated it. Hit the subscribe with that notification bell so you never miss a single daily upload video here. And with all that being said, hope you're all having a great day, or you're going to have a great day. And I shall see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.